the loss of hope. Hope is a human concept of expecting something. Normally one would wish for something good. So when we say a lack of hope, we are defining that the person does not expect something good. See that expecting something bad is also hope. The issue of youth not seeing anything good is because there is no longer right and wrong in the real concept. As man is the parameter of right and wrong, then right and wrong ends up being under the control of the dominant group. So a child who learned that parents determine right and wrong regardless of reason or not, when they grow up they discover that such a thing occurs in the same way. And so, depression and sadness occur naturally. For there being no right or wrong, there is only the tax and the dominated. And the world today is filled with enforcers and dominated. Society in general has become passive, while governments have become imposing, generating weight for the population. In ancient periods, rational men generated revolts and were agglutinators of many people, who generated revolutions. Be it, for example, like the French Revolution, or uprisings that altered systems and removed powers. But society is passive, with government impositions, and ethical norms managed by the dominant system. Thus, what is right is what the dominant determines. In this way, a passive youth cannot see anything good for their future, which is seen by them as a system of slavery without chains, in which their opinions are in fact not accepted. Since in history the positions of society have always been determined by social revolts, because the power system seeks power in itself, making norms and rules that make power a closed group, and not a social will. In this way, a passive generation expects their parents to be good people, as they expect the government to be good, by good people. If not, the passive does not revolt with its parents, nor does it revolt with its rulers. And what remains to the liability in this situation? In this situation, all the psychological problems linked to depression are potentiated in young people. The solution would be a society that claims its rights as it used to, but the education of apathy does not generate such individuals. This vicious cycle generates freedom for the powerful, and legal weight against the population. Extensive laws controlling the common society, and extensive laws favoring the ruling class. Until at one point there was a crash in the system. For the system works under the control of work and consumption of ordinary society, and depression destroys ordinary society, and there is no ruling class without ruled. There is no wealth to groups, no larger groups to send wealth to smaller groups. In this way, every economic system has its days numbered. With the attempt to make slaves without chains, undead societies are generated, and the undead eat the brains of others, and society becomes more and more ignorant. With that being less productive, and without productivity, less generating wealth, and without wealth, less rich classes, and without rich classes, the degradation of power occurs. And with the ruin of power it favors anarchy. Thus, the loss of hope of youth is not an illusion, it is something that if you think about it carefully, it has great real meaning.
If you are looking for more content from different areas, visit the reformadorsstasad.com website. News and detailed content can be found with system of research and organization of text and video.